Welcome back. It's me, Jenny, the Circle City Candle Lady. I know, it's been a while. I went to conference, I got all excited about all the new PartyLite stuff coming out, and I had all these ideas of videos I could make, and then I did nothing. But I'm back, so don't worry about it, here we go. Okay, today's video is all about focal point, because at conference we learned about the 3 F's, we learned about focal point, we learned about flow, and we learned about fun. And I'm breaking it down for you into 3 simple videos. Today we start with focal point. Now I just want to get started right away. Right over here you'll see I've got, we're in my lower level, which is all done up with Colts. And so that's why I've got a little bit of Colts thing going on here. But one thing that sticks out right away as soon as you see this little corner is the focal point. And the focal point for this whole thing is our brand new lantern. And this lantern actually is supposed to be used with a couple of pieces. I'll show you a picture here in a second. Pieces that swirl and you light tea lights under them. But what I've done for the focal point is I have my blue pillar candle in here because this is the Colts room after all, so you gotta stick with Colts blue. Then to kind of accent my focal point, you see I have my Jeff Saturday autographed helmet right here. Jeff, we miss you terribly. Then over here I've got some Colts Cokes. See little Colts thing on my 6-pack. Yeah, cool, right? And of course you've got to have the obligatory football shaped pop bottle here. So I've got some Dr. Pepper in a football. And finally, to accent my focal point here in the back, you've got touchdown monkey and extra point monkey, which you maybe can't see him. Here he is. Hello, I'm extra point monkey. But the whole thing that ties all this together and that draws your attention to it, of course, is the focal point, which is the lantern. You can find that lantern, of course, on my website. Book a party, buy it, get it for half price, you know, all kinds of different ways to get that focal point. And I would love to see what you do with this big focal point. Now let's take a look at another focal point that we've got hanging out. Okay, still in the Colts lower level, but that's cool. Because this is my nice staging area. What I've done is I've taken another giant piece that we have right now in our current catalog, and that's the Tranquility Hurricane right here. And I've pulled a couple pieces that are retired that I just bought actually my very first year selling PartyLite, and I thought, oh my gosh, those go absolutely perfect together. Now, it is a trio of pieces, but you'll see that the giant hurricane right here is definitely the focal point of this centerpiece. This is something you could easily do either on like a side table in a room. If you wanted to draw your attention to that table, you would use a big hurricane like that. But most people will center a focal point somewhere big, like in a dining room table. The center of the dining room table, you would have your hurricane, and then off to everybody's place seatings, you might have like a little tea light or something small that just kind of centers around your hurricane. So you've got your big focal point, followed by all of your smaller pieces. Just like we saw earlier, you've got your lantern for your focal point with all the accenting Colts pieces around it. So really the key with a focal point is you pick something big, you pick something that stands out, that you basically fall in love with. And then you decorate all around it. You put smaller things around it. Typically you don't have little kitties like this climbing around your stuff, but you know what? Hey, she makes a nice little accent piece off to the side, doesn't she? So I just wanted to show those 2 focal points. There's a whole lot of things that you can choose out there. Really quick, we're going to take a look around and show you some things that are not candles that we've used as focal points. The number 1 thing I can think of is TV. And most rooms will have a TV as their focal point in the room, and so you walk in, you know that's where it is. But we've also used fireplaces. Way back in the day before you had TV, you had a fireplace as your focal point for a room as well. I am going to stick with the lower level here and show you we've got a giant banner from the Super Bowl, and this became the focal point of this particular wall here. You'll see it's kind of a divider. We've got the couch in the lower level, yes, lovely dishes that never got put away. And of course there's Mrs. Claus again, and then you come down this way and there's your giant focal point. So again, it's not a candle, but it does work as a focal point. The accents, of course, are all of the Colts stuff off to the side of it, and you can see the Colts clock there in the background as well. So again, a different way to use a focal point that's not a candle, but still is a big giant decoration that works as a focal point. So just to conclude today's video, we had 3 different focal points that we talked about. It is all about decorating 1, 2, 3, remember? We showed the lantern, which is the Changing Seasons lantern, of course. Then we looked at the Tranquility Hurricane, which is a great centerpiece for a dining room table or perhaps an island in a kitchen. And finally, we looked at the Super Bowl banner, which basically is the giant focal point for the entire lower level. Here, as you walk around, you look at all the Colts stuff, and I know the Colts weren't in Super Bowl 46, but still it's all a football themed room, and so that works as a focal point. Now, next week we'll talk about the flow. So you're going to see how we take a focal point and not just in the little accents we put around it, but how do you flow from that room all the way around to the next room, or even flow throughout the entire floor. So stay tuned. I promise that video will be coming out next week. So this week we talked about focal point. Next week is flow. I'll see you then.